Most people waste hours in the gym chasing strength or muscle. But what if you could build both? Plus stronger bones, tendons, and endurance in less than an hour, 3 times a week. Stick with me for a few minutes and I'll show the studies and give you a simple 8-week template you can start today. First, what is 5x5? It's simple. Pick big compound lifts: squat, bench press, deadlift, or row overhead press. Do 5 sets of 5 reps for each main lift. Use heavy but controlled loads, a weight you could do 6 to 7 reps with. Rest 2 to 3 plus minutes between sets and try to add small amounts of weight over time. You train 3 non-consecutive days per week. For example, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That's it. In a second, I'll show you why 5x5 works even if you're short on time and why it's not just a strength-only program. Firstly, heavyweights build strength best and muscle just as well. Large reviews show a clear pattern. Heavy loads give bigger strength gains while muscle growth happens across a wide range of loads. As long as your sets are hard enough, that places 5x5 right in the sweet spot. You get top-tier strength and no loss in muscle growth. Why it matters? With 5x5, you don't have to choose between strong and muscular. You can get both. Number 2, longer rests. 2 to 3 plus minutes. Grow more strength and muscle. It's common to think short rests burn more, so they must be better. But in trained lifters, resting around 3 minutes between sets led to greater strength and hypertrophy than resting 1 minute. That lines up perfectly with how 5x5 is usually run. Takeaway: don't rush, set a timer, breathe, and come back strong for the next set. Number 3, the fastest early progress is neural, not just size. The first big jumps in strength mostly come from your nervous system learning to recruit muscle better and to coordinate the lift. Heavier work, like sets of 5, speeds up these neural gains, which is one reason 5x5 feels so effective in the first 4 to 6 weeks. What you'll notice: the bar moves faster, technique feels smoother, and you hit new numbers, often before your muscles look much different. Number 4, big barbell lifts are bone building, even for older adults. High-intensity resistance training that looks a lot like 5x5, heavy, low-rep squats and deadlifts under coaching, improved spine and hip bone measures and functional performance in post-menopausal women with low bone mass with very few adverse events in a supervised setting. Lift more trial. Why this is surprising? Many people avoid heavy lifting because they think it's risky for bones. Carefully coached heavy training can do the opposite. Make bones stronger. Number 5, tendons adapt to heavy loading. More stiffness is equal to more protection. Tendons aren't passive. Over months, they get stiffer and stronger with loading and load magnitude. That is, heavy work is a key driver of that adaptation. Reviews and meta-analysis show tendons respond well to progressive loading. Heavy, slow resistance is a mainstay for tendon rehab and resilience. What that means for you: consistent 5x5 can help your hardware, tendons, keep up with your software. That's your muscles and nervous system. Number 6, frequency. 2 to 3 days per week hits a sweet spot. You don't need to train every muscle 5 days a week. When volume is matched, training twice per week per muscle is as good for growth as higher frequencies. And for strength, frequency mainly helps because it spreads volume across the week. A 3-day full-body 5x5 fits this evidence and your schedule. Practical win: real-life consistency beats perfect plans. 3 focus sessions are easier to stick to, and they work. Number 7, most of the benefit comes from the first few sets. Multiple sets beat single sets for strength and size, but returns diminish quickly. Classic and newer analyses show big gains moving from 1 set to 2 to 3 sets, with smaller gains as you pile on more. A 5x5 approach across a few core lifts is time efficient and productive without getting lost in marathon workouts. You don't need 20 different exercises and 30 sets. Do the important work well, then go home and recover. Number 8, heavy strength work can help endurance. If you run or cycle, heavy strength training can improve running economy and time trial performance, often without adding body weight. Reviews suggest 2 to 3 sessions per week for 8 to 12 weeks helps runners become more efficient. Some data even hints that heavy resistance may beat plyometrics for improving economy. So no, strength doesn't make you slow. It often makes your stride more efficient. Number 9, barbell training is safer than many people think. Updated reviews estimate powerlifting injuries at 1.0 to 4.4 per 1,000 hours, lower than many popular sports. Recreational running often shows 7.7 to 17.8 injuries per 1,000 hours, especially in newer runners. With good coaching and sensible progressions, 5x5 is not an injury minefield. Every activity has risks. The numbers suggest well-run barbell training is on the safer end. Number 10, getting stronger is tied to living longer. Hello, grip strength. Large studies, including the Pure cohort, show lower hand grip strength predicts higher all-cause and cardiovascular mortality. Grip strength is a simple proxy for overall strength and function, and 5x5 compounds boost it fast. Building strength isn't just about looks or numbers. It's connected to your long-term health. Number 11, high-load sessions often leave you less wiped out than light, high-rep grind fests. Newer work shows greater neuromuscular and perceptual fatigue after low-load, high-rep training, especially to failure, compared to high-load, lower-rep work, even when total work is matched. That's another reason 5x5 feels sustainable across the week. The result? You're more likely to recover well, show up for the next session, and keep progressing. How to start 5x5, a simple, safe template. Now, follow this for 8 to 12 weeks and you'll be noticeably stronger without living in the gym. The schedule is 3 days per week, for example, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Warm-up is 10 to 12 minutes, 5 minutes easy cardio, mobility for hips, ankles, shoulders, ramp-up sets, 2 to 4 lighter sets of your first lift. Day A, back squat, 5x5, bench press, 5x5, barbell row, 5x5. Optional planks or hanging leg raises, 2 to 3 by 20 to 40 seconds. Day B, deadlift, 5x3, pulls are fatiguing, 3 work sets are plenty. Overhead press 5x5, chin-ups or lat pull-down 5x5, or 5 hard sets of as many reps as you can if using body weight. Progression. Start with weight you could do 6 to 7 good reps with, so 5s feel solid. Add 2 to 5 kgs or 5 to 10 pounds next time you repeat the lift if you made all 5x5 with good form. If you miss reps 2 sessions in a row, hold the weight next time or drop 5 to 10% and build back up. Rest. 2 to 3 plus minutes between sets for the main lifts, longer if your last set crawled. This supports better performance and gains. Form and setup tips. Lock in your brace, big breath, tighten midsection before every rep. Keep bar paths simple. Straight lines on presses, pulls, midfoot over bar on squats, deads. Record your top sets on video. Quick feedback works wonders for technique. Accessory work optional. 1 to 2 small moments after the main lifts. For example, hip hinge variation, single leg work, face pulls, calf raises. Keep them to 2 to 3 sets each. Remember, the main lifts do the heavy lifting for results. Deloads. Every 4 to 6 weeks, or whenever you feel beaten up, run 1 light week at 80% of your usual loads and 3x5 across. You'll bounce back stronger. Why 5x5 fits real life? Short, simple sessions. You can get in, do focused work, and get out. No decision fatigue. Clear wins. You're either adding a little weight or you aren't. That clarity keeps motivation high. Full body focus. 3 total body days are easier to schedule and miss less than a 5-day split. Cross benefits, you get better at sports and everyday tasks, carrying groceries, climbing stairs, sprinting for the bus. Now let's tackle some common questions. Will I get bulky? Not unless you're eating for it. 5x5 adds strength and muscle in a controlled way. If you manage calories, you'll get stronger without big scale jumps. Many endurance athletes gain economy without gaining weight. Isn't heavy lifting dangerous? With basic coaching and sensible progressions, injury rates are low, often lower than running. Use proper form, don't rush jumps, and you'll be fine. Do I need to train to failure? No, it's not necessary for strength and for growth. The main thing is doing enough hard sets close to failure. Pushing every set to all-out failure can increase fatigue without more progress. How many sets is enough? Most of the benefit shows up in 2 to 3 hard sets per lift, especially if you're new or busy. More can help, but there are diminishing returns. Will 5x5 help me live longer? Indirectly, stronger people tend to do better. Grip strength, a simple strength proxy, is strongly linked with lower risk of death from all causes and heart disease. A few secret sauces that make 5x5 work. First, progressive overload made obvious. You always know what to do next session. Try a little more weight or the same weight with better quality. Second, practice underload. 5 rep sets give you enough reps to groove technique, but they're heavy enough to drive neutral gains fast. Third, built-in recovery. The 3-day schedule and longer rests keep fatigue in check so you can actually push when it counts. Fourth, big rock exercises. Squats, presses, hinges, and pulls train a lot of muscle at once, which is why returns are so good for the time invested. Bone and tendon wins. Heavy controlled loading signals adaptation in the tissues that keep you durable. Safety basics. Start lighter than you think. First week should feel easy. Perfect one thing at a time. Don't overhaul every cue in one session. Use safety spotters for squats and bench. Stop a set if your form breaks down. You'll get more from 4 crisp reps than from 5 sloppy ones. Check with a clinician if you have pain that doesn't settle or a medical condition you're unsure about. A simple 8-week game plan. Week 1 to 2, learn the movements. Add small weights each session if all reps are clean. Weeks 3 to 4, keep adding weight. If you miss, repeat next session before adjusting down. Week 5, deload. Reduce weight 10 to 20%, 3 by 5. Weeks 6 to 8, push again. End of week 8, test a heavy triple. 3 reps on your main lifts to see progress, not a true 1 rep max. What to expect? Week 2 to 3, noticeable strength jumps, neural gains. Week 6 to 8, bar speed is up. Reps feel cleaner. Many people see first visible muscle changes now as well. By week 8, a stronger squat, press, pull, better posture, and daily life ease. Standing up from chairs, lifting bags, etc. So if you want a plan that's simple, time efficient, and evidence-based, 5x5 is hard to beat. You'll build strength fast without sacrificing muscle growth. Your bones and tendons get a strong signal to adapt. Your endurance can improve, and the whole approach is safe when you progress sensibly. One decision, 5 sets of 5 can upgrade your training for years.